right, everybody. I just want to get the chat open. All right. Hi. So let's just take a moment and shift gears into this present moment. When you've been going at this as long as you guys have, you get to a point where you can just flip right into the early meditative state. You do that by shifting to your forehead and crown and taking in the whole room at once. And just listening to this moment. Can you let go a little deeper? See if you can be so still that you can hear the ringing of the silence. There's a high-pitched sound that's deafening when you're up in the mountains by yourself. But even if you're in a city and you listen, it's there. And I know this teaching really pisses off my students with tinnitus. But if you have tinnitus, look for the light in the air. Look for the light that fills the space between things. It's your mind representing the same thing. You can also experience it as a vibration on your skin. The idea is to use the senses just to identify it. And then you hook into it with your attention, gently, but purposefully. Just listen. The truth is, the more you hear it, the more you'll see it and feel it. This sound is very special. It's a sound of life coming into manifestation. But it's conscious. And it carries all the spiritual teachings at once as their core principles. Anything you could ever wish to learn is in that sound. And the more you let go of your stories, the more you let go of your unnecessary coverings, the deeper that sound permeates the moment. Try it now. Can you feel it starting to vibrate your skin? You are its instrument. It's trying to play you. You have energy centers throughout your body. I'm sure I don't need to teach you about chakras. But those main chakras, they have petals on them that each play a different note in manifestation. This energy can play them if you really relax into it. The energy is one complete teaching, containing of everything, like a flashlight shining on you. But what it's shining on from one thing to another is different in its makeup, different in its illusion of completion or lack of completion. And so it becomes a teaching that is so specific to you in this moment. And you give it to yourself by surrendering to that sound. If you're a Christian and that makes you nervous, understand that we're talking about the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and became flesh and dwelt among us. What we're describing here is not off any legitimate spiritual path. It's all right on the path. got you a little stimulated. Let go of that. Let go of that so that the sound current can grow again. There. It just starts to flow in like water, doesn't it? It's comforting. Let it comfort you. And then let go of your need. So that you can have the pure experience. Spend some time relaxing into that. And as the mind comes to take you away, just don't play with it. Return to the sound. Return to the light. Return to the vibration of this moment. First, it'll clean those petals of your images and stories. Then it will play them. It'll sound dissonant, not harmonious at first, because things are still coming off of them. But if you keep going, something clicks into place, and there's this beautiful harmony that comes out of you. And it comes with inner knowing. And knowledge of your next steps spiritually. Knowledge of your missteps in the moment. those stories on those petals are lies. Things that you need before you can feel complete or happy. They can just be washed away. There's nothing legitimate that stands between you and your completion. Just let the sound do its work. With willingness and gratitude. how when the mind creates stories and you get lost in them for a second, that you lose the sound current a little. And then you shift back to that ground of being, and it all comes rushing back in. Do you notice that? Your energy can either be turned inward towards what's real, or outward towards the story. And that'll determine how your energy gets used. But the story is addictive, and it's easy to get lost. You can spend a whole lifetime lost in the jungles of your stories. Never turning back to your true self. In Hindu Tantra, they talk about that in terms of Shiva and Shakti. Shiva is in union with Shakti, and Shakti has her attention on Shiva. Shiva being the backdrop that I've taught you in meditation, and Shakti being the energy that charges in that backdrop. And then she turns her attention outwards away, and the world comes into existence. And then she collapses it and turns back in. But you can see that in your own meditation, just listening to the sound current. Not some abstract teaching. Something you can see and experience. Notice where her attention is. And listen, you'll know, because the sound will diminish, because the power is flowing out and splitting into this multifarious world. The funny thing is, she's seeking that union with Shiva in everything in that world. Every argument, every TV show, every cup of coffee, every relationship. Just an attempt to feel complete and whole again. A misguided attempt. And so we can stay lost out there for a long time. Listen. Return to the sound. Attention at the forehead and crown. And just listen. If you'll all do it, your efforts will be magnified. Because the noise in the room will come into unity. None of this is separate or different from what you've been taught over the years. It's just something to notice in your meditation. that you listen in this way, the more that you maximize that sound current, the more it builds up in your body. Your bones are like minerals. That can charge with this like crystals. The more you fill the space with this, instead of all the other unnecessary garbage, the more you become a vibrating center for this experience. It has a stabilizing effect on your life. It has a stabilizing effect on others. And it makes it really easy to step right back into the meditative state. The more time you spend in this place, the more your energy channels clear up. And more energy can flow through you. The more the petals of your chakras clean off. And you find this kind of direct perception, this direct download from the highest parts of self become known to you. That sound becomes like a language that you become fluent in. It can even turn outward to build experiences for you to learn from, but experiences that are in line with your spiritual path forward. Again, it's conscious. Don't take my word for that. Spend time with it. You'll see. All right, everybody. This week, I'd like you to spend time listening to the sound current. Again, if you've got some hearing issue that gives you tinnitus independent of higher communications, then find it in the light between the objects and let that build until you can feel it vibrating on your skin. But let it in every day. Let it clean you every day. Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes many exposures. But just your attention on it can intensify it in ways that'll move you forward quickly. All right, I'm a little under the weather, so I'm going to end a little early tonight. But are there any questions about that before I let you go? unmute yourself or put yourself in the chat. Okay, everyone. I will be here next week. I will see you next Thursday, and I hope you all have a fantastic week. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Liam. I hope you feel better.
I will. Thank you.